راسك عليه. Your hand, please.
Make our nation great and strong. Go to defend forever the cause of freedom and of right. With our heart beat to humility, make us cherish honesty, and help us to resist oppressors with power and might forevermore. And help us to resist oppressors with power and might forevermore.
Welcome back to the channel. That was the Ghana's ambassador to Qatar, Dr. Emmanuel Enos. He was hoisting the flag of Ghana. As we get the qualified teams for every country, the flags are hoisted in Qatar, significantly to commemorate their qualification and participation in the World Cup in November. So far, we have 29 countries that have qualified, 3 slots still available, but we're going to look at which pot Ghana has been placed in for the World Cup draw and how it could go for us. We're also going to talk about the availability of some players for the Black Stars now that they've qualified for the World Cup. Remember, Hudson Odoi is one of the players who can only play for Ghana in November. A GFA Communications Director spoke to City FM on their show, and he gave us some insights into what might happen to the players that have been pursued by the FA, and whether this time that we've qualified for the World Cup, they might be interested or they might be available to play for Ghana. As usual, subscribe if you have not. Click on the notification bell to get more updates for their qualification to the World Cup by the president of the land, who entreated that this technical team be maintained at least until after the World Cup in December. He also talked about how happy he was that Ghana had qualified for the World Cup. Remember, in his tenure, this is the first time Ghana is qualifying for the World Cup, and you can't imagine how happy he has made the president. But those places are yet to be determined, and those 3 countries are Scotland, Ukraine, and Wales. And now for Wales, they are in the playoff final, but they are waiting for the winner of Scotland versus Ukraine. We all know the situation currently in Ukraine. As to when that game will be played, we do not know yet. So I think for the draw, these 3 groups might be placed, or let's say Scotland, Ukraine, Wales might be placed under one grouping and participate in the draw. When that decision on the team that is going to make it is made, then they will know their slot in there. New Zealand will play Costa Rica as well to determine the final spot. The winner of Australia versus UAE will face Peru to determine who goes into the World Cup over there. So those 3 slots are the only ones left, and it will be interesting to see how they end up there. Now for the pots, this is pot 1. It includes the host Qatar, who are assured of a spot in Group A. A1 will be their position. And now in pot 1 is Brazil, Belgium, France, Argentina, England, Spain, Portugal. For pot 2, we have Netherlands, Denmark, Germany, Switzerland, Uruguay, Croatia, USA, Mexico. Meaning that the Black Stars, who are in pot 4, we will look at that later. But in pot 3, we have Iran, Japan, Morocco, Serbia, Poland, South Korea, Senegal, and Tunisia. And finally, in pot 4, Ecuador, Saudi Arabia, Ghana, Canada, Cameroon, Wales, Ukraine, Scotland, New Zealand, Costa Rica, and Peru, Australia, UAE. Those are the 4 pots that each country has been placed in. Ghana will be looking at a tough draw considering those teams in the first 3 pots, but our rankings are not good, and losing to Comoros in the African Cup of Nations, our performance in the AFCON was what has brought us these rankings. It's quite unfortunate, but that is where we find ourselves. Ghana are in pot 4. The draw is tomorrow. It will be tough draw, obviously, and it will be interesting to see where the Black Stars will be playing. So these teams in pot 1 to 3, we are likely to face them. You can see will be quite an arduous one. But I am just excited being in the World Cup. I don't want Ghana to just go add to the numbers. I also hope they do well, but getting there is the first step in trying to do well. If you don't qualify, how do you get to participate in the World Cup and get a chance to go further in the World Cup? Excited about that. Tomorrow the draw results, when it comes, we'll look at it closely and we'll see how Ghana will be placed in there. Finally, we move to my next story. It has to talk about the Ghana Black Stars again, and players like Hudson Odoi, Tarique Lamptey and Mohamed Salisu, who in the past have been talked about joining the Black Stars. Now, Hudson Odoi cannot play for Ghana until November 2022, which coincidentally is the time the World Cup will start. Thankfully, we are in the World Cup, and as to whether Hudson Odoi will join the Black Stars is not yet determined. Now, the communications director himself, he doesn't like to come out to give us information, but we all know Chris Hughton. Initially, when he came into the country, talked with his father, who had assured him that he will play for Ghana when the team qualifies for the World Cup. Not to say that was the determining factor, but he can only play for us in November, and coincidentally, November is when the World Cup will take place. But let's have a listen to what the communications director said concerning Hudson Odoi's participation, along with Tarique Lamptey and Salisu, for the upcoming Mondial in November and beyond.
I don't know, because none of the coaches has made.
What about Tarique Lamptey?
Tarique, again, it is the coach's decision. If it is that we wake up tomorrow and the new coach of the Black Stars wants Tarique, Hudson, whoever is available, we look at the regulations and the possibility of getting them. If it is within our reach, we pursue it.
But are they in good? Are they eligible?
The new law for nationality switch is that you should be 2 years farther than from your last game. So it means that if today Hudson played for England 2 years ago, we look at the month he played, and if it's exactly 2 years, he has every right to switch nationality.
And based on your research, he's qualified to play for Ghana in November.
We will see, because the reason
because I know Tarique hasn't played. After Tarique, he hasn't played for the English senior team.
Yes, U21. I think he was even called up last week also. But even Tarique, in 2015, he was given an opportunity with the Black Starlets. Unfortunately, yes, at the under 17 level. Unfortunately, we heard some stories. They didn't pick him. Whether it is true or not, I can't tell.
Will Salisu be called?
Again, it depends on the coach.
Did we try to get him?
We've made overtures about 4 or 5 times.
What did he say?
Siki Akono tried, he wasn't successful. Milovan tried, he wasn't successful. Otto tried, and he still thinks he needs time. So
Otto called him for these 2 games.
Yes, he still thinks so. I think we've gotten to a point where we feel we should rather focus on players who are ready and willing to play than players who are not, who are dragging their feet.
There you had it. Hudson Odoi, he was harsh about it. He did not want to reveal much. Tarique Lamptey as well. It is a possibility. He recently played for the under-21, scored a call-up, honored it. But Salisu is where I like to say that let's move on. I like what he said at the end there. We have to focus on players that are ready to play for the country, committed. And we should stop talking about Salisu, in my opinion. He has made it clear. The communication director has also said it there. Salisu was called up during Siki Akono's time, Milovan Rajabak's time, Otto Addo's time. He has said he's not ready. And I don't think he will be ready for the World Cup eventually. I don't know. But we have one of the best defensive back partnerships ever we could have hoped for in Alexander Djiku and Daniel Amati. And let's not disrespect these committed players by talking about someone who is not interested in joining the Ghana national team. And that is how I'll end today. The Black Stars are in pot 4. The World Cup qualifiers are over, at least for the most part. A few ones to determine, 3 slots left. Ghana will be there in Qatar, pot 4 tomorrow, the draw. Where do you want Ghana to be placed in? Who do you want Ghana to be paired with? Let me know your thoughts in the comments box and what the communications director said concerning 3 players that could join the team in November for the World Cup. Remember, AFCON qualifiers are in June. We'll see how that one also goes as well. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the week.